Okay,
Oh, no, that's fine.
it's Wednesday, April 17th, 2024. We're going to start the Town of Sangerville Select Board meeting. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next is open session. Mr. Davis is here. We asked him to come, but there's two other gentlemen here. Did you guys want to speak?
Possibly.
This is the time.
No, okay, no, but I can't say right now.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Campbell?
No, just sitting here.
Okay.
I come to see the excitement.
What's that?
I come to see the excitement.
Well, hell, you just never know, I guess.
You never do.
Signed the minutes for board meeting April 3rd, 2024. You want to wait? Yeah.
Yeah,
Table.
table it, yes,
Okay.
please.
Review of treasurer's warrants, payroll 23 and 24, and accounts payable 25.
Make motion to approve A and B is read.
Second? All in favor? 3. Update on Ed Gould property, phone calls to Ed, and rodent update.
Okay,
Old
so
business.
we have, Mr. Gould still has not sent back the form that the lawyer has wanted us to send out. Jamie has contacted him, I've contacted him, I've contacted the lawyer to see what else do we do. She said just try and keep reaching out to him and see if we can get that form back. It's the easier option. The other thing is I've gotten reports from Orkin, they give us, every time they visit, there's a report. The last 2 weeks, there is no activity, there's no traps with rats. It looks like the situation is under control or gone. So do you want me to go ahead and cancel Orkin? I mean, we signed a contract.
That's what we thought.
Yeah, it's your call.
Yep.
Okay, so I will do
We just
that.
want to check
I
with
would
you and
think.
make sure.
We're not gonna go look at it.
No.
No, I'm out of this conversation.
That's true.
I have
nothing to do
pictures
with
if you want to see rats.
No.
Terrified is the right word.
Really?
Yeah, I'll run you over.
Okay. Paul has come, so do you want to move to that?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you for coming, first of all. The reason we asked Paul here is, the town meeting's coming up, and there is, an article that was a petitioned article that Paul participated in. And we've all had a fair amount of feedback, concern, I guess is the way to characterize it. Because traditionally Paul has always been the moderator at our town meetings, I think everyone I've ever been to. And so there's a conflict of interest. I think Jeff reached out to Paul to see what your intention was, and it's fair to say you plan on still doing it.
I do.
Okay, so we just wanted to, it wasn't just
Right,
us.
right.
We've had quite a few people reach out to us.
I think some of them, it was based on the last special meeting that we had in December. Primarily that.
Well, that was the most hostile meeting that I've ever conducted. It was terrible, terrible, absolutely terrible. I could have done a few things different. I usually start the meeting by saying we're all good friends and neighbors, we want to stay that way. I didn't. I didn't think it was necessary. And perhaps having the sheriff there would have made a difference. I don't know. But you live and learn. It won't happen again. The other thing, if there is an article that I have a conflict in, and I don't feel I do, had you reached out to me earlier?
Well, that's what we had Jeff
I
do.
would- Yesterday. If you'd reached out to me 2 months ago, I would have come in and talked to you. And we could have worked something out.
Well, there's not
But you-
much to work
let
out.
me finish, please.
No, I mean, we're
Is it
not,
okay if I finish?
you seem upset.
Well, hope it doesn't bother you too much. If you had reached out to me, I would have told you, my only reason for being involved in this was to give the people a choice as to what was gonna happen. Whether this is repaired, or a new building is built, or Robinson's is purchased, whatever. But you didn't reach out to me, so I didn't feel it was for me to reach out to you. I went in, I had talked to Michelle, told her how I felt the meeting was, and I intended to make sure it ran different. If there is, what I feel, a direct conflict of interest in my feelings on this, I more than likely will appoint a deputy moderator and allow them to conduct that session of our warrant.
Who do you intend to use as a deputy?
I have not made my mind up. I was thinking about a lady that was coming to our meetings, although she doesn't live in town or anything, but I think that probably I would get somebody from another community that has served as moderator in most communities.
Has Sue served as a moderator
I
prior
have
before?
no idea. I trust you're talking about Sue Griffith.
Correct.
Yeah. I have no idea if she has or hasn't. I couldn't
Because-
tell you, but she has come to some of the meetings, and if I appoint a deputy, I won't appoint her.
Right, because
She's come to the meetings, and seems to be that there's some stances left on people that go to those meetings, and I don't want that to happen to her.
yeah, and she's been a part of the petition, I understand she didn't circulate a petition part because she is not a resident of Sangerville, but she's been a part of the committee and pretty vocal, so I would just like to read something into the record. So under,
Excuse me.
so under state statute, and this is MRS Title 30-A 2605, conflicts of interest. And it goes on and about all the different types of conflict that exist. And the one that I find that addresses the concern that we all have is number 6, avoidance of appearance of conflict of interest. Is
Well,
that-
the Holy Bible says we're supposed to avoid the appearance of evil. And I'll be happy if I feel that it is a conflict, and it may be, then I would appoint somebody else to take care of that part of the warrant.
Okay, if I may, I would like to finish this.
I'm sorry.
Every municipal and county official, which you are, shall attempt to avoid the appearance of a conflict of interest by disclosure or by abstention. So,
Well, if abstention meant that I couldn't speak out on it, if I take the floor instead of doing the moderating, I guess I would object to that part of it. Because if I go on the floor, I may very well speak out on it. And I don't feel that it's at all proper that any individual's rights are curtailed, let alone mine.
I would agree. I think if you stand up as a citizen and want to discuss any of the articles, I don't think anyone, and with the knowledge that you are in a county official, I don't think anyone would have issue with that. I do find that there are people that would have issue with you being the moderator. And so what a concern that I have, and I think we did check with our attorney.
I did,
Yes.
it was kind of a generic, but I said, this individual, actually collected signatures for the petition, and has been very active in seeking legal direction on how to move the petition forward. And I said, in that case, would it be appropriate to expect them not to be a moderator, particularly since I anticipate that this warrant is going to have a number of articles that are in conflict or at odds with the petitioned article. So you could have 4, 5, 6 items where there's certainly the appearance of a conflict. And she offered to write us an opinion We haven't sought that yet, we might, but, this is all just brought about from other citizens coming to us. And so we investigated, she confirmed that it was reasonable to feel that way, so. That's,
Well, I've had dozens, and I mean dozens of citizens make contact with me and tell me it was ridiculous if I did not become the moderator. So I guess that goes two ways.
she did confirm there wasn't much that we could do about it. Potentially there could be litigation to overturn, an outcome. I don't think that's likely, but she said she'd seen it. But we really just, we're doing you the courtesy,
I appreciate your courtesy.
if you, I guess, if the response was, I really don't care either way, that would make sense to me. But it seems like you're
Well,
pretty
I can tell you
determined.
this, I may be leaning one way or the other, but I'm not etched in cement as far as this building goes.
Yeah, this really isn't about the topic itself.
When I was in the Senate, when I was in the House, I always listened to the debate before deciding how to vote. And that is the truth.
Yeah, and I would echo what Mike is saying. It's not about this particular item,
No.
article, I should say. But we have, there just seems to be hostility towards the select board. I mean, I don't even appreciate the grimace that you just made. I don't appreciate it. It's tough. And we have, you know, we're just trying to keep an even keel here.
It's funny, because you mentioned you wish that we had called you. We didn't call you because we really didn't have a question. But in that vein,
Now, Mike, I listened to your recordings too. Right from the very beginning, you said that you wish somebody else was moderator.
I-
Somebody that didn't know everybody in town, so don't say that you.
well, no, I think we all agree we don't want somebody with a conflict. But I'll go back to what I was gonna share with you.
What I just said, you said right from the beginning that you wish somebody else was moderator.
I do believe that in this case, somebody other than yourself moderating would be best for the town because of your involvement in the article. You literally collected signatures. But back to what I was gonna say, you had mentioned earlier that you would appreciate a call. We didn't call you because we really didn't have a question for you. And if your reaction to Jeff had been, I really don't care either way, then we would have found someone else and we wouldn't be having this meeting. But previously, you have been pretty openly critical of this board in your meetings.
And I come here and looked you right in the eye, and I told you that it was time to do something.
And you've never called one of us.
I came.
Even one
here
time.
And I told you face to face.
Yeah, in fact, we've got a recording of that, and a lot of people thought that was hostile.
I told you it was time to get off the stick and do something.
I know historically, you've never had a problem. You've pulled into my driveway before, looking for signatures, wanting to put out a sign. We've always got along just fine. I would have thought that if you thought we were doing something that was unethical, you might have called one of us. And you've repeated those sort of things over and over.
I never said anything that day about your ethics.
There's,
When I said that it was time to get going on this,
No, you are correct, Paul. The day he was here, you did not.
I did not.
But what Mike, I think, is referencing is the meetings.
Well,
And
then
during
maybe
those
I may have
meetings.
said that it's time to get going. I don't like the way you're doing your duties, that type of thing.
That's okay.
I also said a number of times that I wish you folks were here with us. And I also said, I don't understand why we got booted out of here. I,
that's unfortunate that you
It
think that.
really is
That's not what
unfortunate.
happened.
No, not at all.
so,
I'm sure that is what you were told, but that's not what happened. If you go back to 11/6, there was in fact, after the meeting where you suggested that we kind of get off the pot and get things going, ironically, that's exactly what happened. There were a series of meetings involving many, many people. And we talked about all the options for the town, the Robinsons, the new building, the old building, and how all of that would work. And over time, we built a consensus, not the three of us, that group. It was dozens of people. And on 11/6, they agreed that the two-building solution was the only solution, and that the older building we were going to seek a utilization study and a nonprofit. And the same people that,
Excuse me, 2 buildings,
Right,
a new building
a new building with congressional
and
funding.
deal with the old building separately.
Oh, I see.
Okay, and most of the people that are in your current group were in total agreement to that. And we had agreed that we would seat a committee that would look into the utilization and the nonprofit. It's all on tape, we can verify every bit of it. So that's where we were, and then they reneged. A number of them reneged on that agreement after the town meeting that you referenced earlier, and wanted to do their own thing. That's,
Well, we set a committee.
Yes, we did.
And we gave them a mission statement, and they said, no, thank you.
and it was consistent with what everyone had agreed to.
That's right. And I have that mission statement that I can read.
The people voted 21-79 that they did not want to build a new building that day.
That's why we didn't get the congressional funds and why
That's
we didn't
right.
build it.
That's why we lost out on an opportunity for
Free building.
a building that would be
Well,
majority
That's what
paid
the
for.
people spoke.
Yeah.
Yep, that's correct. Yes, I'm sorry.
First of all, who do you people, and I mean that as a group, who do you feel you should have as a moderator? And would they not have a conflict? I mean, in this situation, I mean, people talk conflict, I don't care if you sat on a jury or what, everybody has a conflict somewhere. It might be minuscule, it might be large. Everybody has a conflict about something that's going on. And I don't know why this makes any difference over anything else. I mean, obviously, he's an upstanding member of the community, and I believe, and I really don't care who's gonna be the moderator. I don't. But Paul Davis is an upstanding member of the community. And he is somebody that's liked by a lot of people. And if there are people that are complaining about him possibly doing it, well, who do they want? I don't understand why.
Well, the conflict's real. I mean, we did
There's a
seek an
conflict
attorney's,
everywhere,
we
it's a big
did,
deal.
no, but
And-
there's a
and
threshold.
I want to back to something else, because you, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to, I said I was gonna sit here and keep my mouth shut, but I can't. You said that Paul seemed to be somewhat hostile, and then you made a face, you commented about his face.
Yeah.
He made a face and looked at you. After he said, so everybody here has got negativity that's churning, and we've got to work together. There's enough fighting going on in this friggin' country, in this world. And if everybody can't start seeing eye to eye, we're in a hell of a lot of trouble. And I don't care where you're from or what you do. Somebody has got to just deal with it and move forward. And it's sad. It's really sad to see the hostility that's been generated in this community. It's sad. And I don't know, I don't know what can be done. I don't. And, you guys are the fathers, mothers of the community, and we're expected, you are hired to do what the community wants. And for some reason, there's a huge,
No, I'm not
You-
sure
you-
that,
you-
no, I was
you-
Well,
looking
that's
for,
not what we're supposed to do.
I would say there's a misunderstanding there.
then what are you supposed to do?
We're the administrators of the town.
Okay.
We're elected officials,
To administer?
but we don't, to do what the community wants, that's kind of a vague mission statement.
Well, I would think that you're hired and you're voted in or
Right,
whatever.
but you could have someone who says, what the community wants is for you guys to repair the old theater. And you could have another group say, well, what the community wants
It's
is,
a swimming pool,
Right,
municipal
or-
swimming pool.
Yeah, but it's a consensus of the community, not an individual. You're taking that out of context.
no, I'm not taking, because those requests are real. We've got people now who want us to fight for access for hunters to get on land, and, there's constant requests for other people's money.
I'm not getting my point across, or you're missing my point, so let's just move on. I'm sorry.
Thank
No,
you
I'm
for
with
the
you.
kind words. I know they probably come hard for me.
What's that?
I said, thank you for the kind words. I'm sure it was a struggle.
Why would that be a struggle?
Brian, just to answer your question, we don't have anyone, and we don't
We don't have anybody in mind.
We don't have anyone. We
I would
don't,
like to say
Okay.
that I have had no one tell me I should not be the moderator. And if you've had a number of citizens I'm pretty easy to find. They can
Well-
call me.
Is that a fact?
What?
No, that, I will refer them to call you then.
Refer 'em, I don't care, I get called all the time.
But if you're not gonna stand down, it doesn't matter.
Right.
I mean, that's the bottom line. The attorney confirmed that if you're nominated, or any, not, this really shouldn't be about you.
No, no.
It doesn't matter how
In general.
obvious a conflict is, if the person is nominated and gets the votes, they will be moderator, that's all. So
It
that,
is a public office.
that's correct.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
That's
It can
right.
change.
And if you,
Yep.
you know, again, if you, the problem that I see is if someone perceives a bias, then it opens us up for legal issues.
And the hostility that Mr. Campbell was just talking about. Maybe the bias concern isn't warranted, but some people certainly feel that if you're that involved in the
Can't please
article.
everybody, I completely.
I understand, but you certainly could have more distance from the article than what Paul has, that's all. It's not unreasonable.
Well, if I stand down from the article, it won't make any difference.
Except there are many other articles that are at odds with it, so you're gonna be up and down, up and down. It just seems clean and simple. You get to speak to all of them, then you don't have to.
You designed the warrant, can't you put them in one chronological order?
That isn't gonna change the number.
Well, you said I'd be up and down, up and down.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be a
We
whole
have three
series of articles.
If we have 3 or 4 articles together, I'm not gonna jump up and down on every one of them.
You get good exercise that way.
It's actually,
I need it.
you've made your position clear.
Yeah.
I don't really have any, there's nothing else that we need to.
Well, hey, you asked me to come.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
and we still appreciate
Thank you
it.
very, very much.
Well, this is a public meeting, perhaps I'll say a while.
You're
There you
welcome
go.
to.
That's great.
Anything, did you never, okay. New business, community development grant on 2017 Historical Society, closeout paperwork.
Yes, so I was contacted by a lady, Terry Holden. She is trying to close out the paperwork for the Historical Society, got a grant in 2017. I don't have any history with this, so I don't know who should sign this paperwork.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's,
Is the town like a co-applicant or something?
it was CBDG funds, I believe, so it had to funnel through the town, I believe is how it worked.
Oh my God.
And I apologize on the minutes, I'm assuming that you didn't get an email with those, which.
No.
Okay, so I will, go back to that, to Sandy with that.
Did someone reach out to the Historical Society to find out what it's all about, to see if they knew?
Former school building?
I wonder if that's,
I don't
I
know.
wonder.
Oh,
if
that's Abby
Yes,
Fowler.
it's part, it's the end of the Abby Fowler.
Oh,
That's what I was trying to do
this
timeline in
is-
my head, but yes,
Yeah.
that's what
Oh,
that is.
that's what it is, okay.
So the Abby Fowler building that was signed
Okay.
over by the town to the Historical Society,
Okay,
everything to do with the grants, bloody blah, it all
Ah,
funneled
you're
through
right,
them.
right.
cause
And then it
I
came
went
back
back
to the
into the
town.
books and I tried to find it in the town reports.
Look
and
under
I-
Abby Fowler, you
and-
should find out.
Okay, I don't know where those files are.
You
I'm
might-
assuming they're in the old building, so,
Can we address that?
Beg your pardon?
She just brought up another good thing. More files that she's, I mean, this is different, she just hasn't looked, she's not sure, didn't know where they were, but we seem to be having files missing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're talking about the plan documents?
Yes,
Yeah,
because we keep getting asked more about people being in the building, and this, to me, this is one more reason why nobody should ever be in that building.
well, that's,
It's a
we
two-
had we've had an event, what, 3-4 weeks ago? You found the.
Been a little longer than that.
Yeah, okay. Unfortunately, somebody, or a group of somebodies, it looks like, entered the old town hall and, it appears for the sole purpose of taking the architectural documents, the engineering plans relating to the repair of 20+ years ago. All of those were stolen. Are the photographs gone too?
Yes.
Because it was quite a slew of 35mm photographs.
Of the construction,
I don't know where the photographs would be. I know what Bridie told me.
Yeah.
The prints would be, they weren't there, and I found them in the
the office area where the clerical people would work. Tube was up against the wall. Only thing that's in there is some hand drawn, like coloring photos, and then one print was left on top of the old desk on top of a whole bunch of other stuff. So that one print had to be in with,
Right.
because that tube says blueprints for that building, the foundation.
So, and the one copy being out on the table is pretty clear that somebody
The
was
rest
in
of them
there
were
digging
there
into
at
it.
one time. I'm assuming the rest of them were there at one time, and they're gone.
Jeff, was that office locked separately from the town, the building itself?
No, you could
No.
go right around, that's
Okay.
one thing.
The
Michelle
door's
knew. We
locked.
went in back in, locked it back up, but this was after the fact, that's when the coffee cups were there, the flashlights.
So you found 3 coffee cups?
Yeah,
And this
yeah.
flashlight here?
So
And we've reported it to the police?
Yeah,
Yep, good.
it appears that 3 people went to Robinson's, got coffee. They had a key to the building, because they didn't have to break in, they just opened the door and went in. They gathered these documents, which really have no value, other than, you know, if you had some personal motivation to get rid of them.
Right.
And then they, I guess it makes sense, I mean, these are big architectural tubes that these documents are in. I mean, we've seen these blueprints.
Yeah, we've, yeah.
They look
yeah.
like a blueprint for a castle. I mean, they're
Yeah.
really impressive.
Yeah,
And there were notations that they altered the plan.
handwritten stuff all over.
So they left the tubes, obviously stuffed the documents inside their
Whatever.
jackets or under their arms or whatever. And in their haste to leave, they left behind their 3 coffee cups, their flashlight, and they didn't lock the doors behind them. A pretty strange event.
Yeah, Michelle, and you found the doors open, correct?
Yes, because Jeff had been up to the office.
I just got here, I just.
Yeah.
got-
I know, that
Yeah,
was-
he just, so March 5th was election night.
Okay.
Sam and I went over and got all the election stuff to go set up the polling area. The next morning, after the election, we ripped everything down and went back, and I knew Jeff had said he'd locked the doors. And as I looked down the hall door was unlocked, and it was wide open. So later that afternoon, I messaged Jeff and said, "Did you leave that open?" And I had also seen a coffee cup, which wasn't there on Tuesday. So, yeah, there were some things that weren't in place when I was in there on Tuesday.
Right, so that was.
Monday, rather.
That would have been March 5th?
March 5th was the election, so I would have been in there on the 4th to get the stuff to actually set the polls up, and then Wednesday morning, the 6th.
Okay, so.
Tuesday, the 5th, we were at the polls.
Tuesday the 5th?
Yeah.
Or the 6th? Because we are going to subpoena videos from Robinson.
I was gonna say, that's what you wanna do.
Yep. Yep. So.
The worst
you-
part, the drawings, like you said, there's no significant
No.
value. The value of those drawings is all the handwritten notes that are on them. And that's really the important piece. I mean, all the documents are easily to getting in, but everything at the time that might have changed or altered from the original engineering documents, you're never gonna know that unless you
Right,
have
because
those
it's underground, a
originals.
lot of it was the foundation plans.
Right, it's all the foundation
Yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So,
We were interested in having all of that because it seems like there's a possibility that we're gonna repeat history in that we're not gonna follow engineering guidelines and just really go down the same rabbit hole we went down 25 years ago. And this was kind of a useful tool to illustrate, although they were well intended 20 years ago, they just didn't think that engineers really mattered that much.
Right, they didn't follow the plans.
Right.
And so, to me, it's getting rid of evidence.
It seems like the motive would be something along that line,
Right.
because there's no real value in it, so.
So anyway, that's where we're at.
We have changed the locks,
Yes. Right, yeah.
nobody's going in there without a
All
crowbar.
municipal buildings
Yeah.
so have been changed.
And I mean, the list of people that have keys is.
Very short.
Yeah, got it. Okay, that had keys.
That's true.
Yeah, the people that, yeah, just the 2 of you, okay, good.
Certified ratio declaration.
So
Oh, no, we gotta get back to
We gotta
this.
recycle that for a minute.
Oh, we haven't finished on
Is
that.
it okay
You got off
to
track
go
there.
ahead and just sign
Yep.
that on your behalf?
Well, I
Or do
would-
you wanna sign it?
Well, they're asking if the funds were spent. I mean,
Transferred it there.
I could only find so much.
Did you
I
see
couldn't
the
find
amount of
full
money?
50,000. That's why I was questioning.
That's why I asked you to look at it, because I didn't, but I mean, I don't remember seeing this.
Really need to
No, this
find
is
that Aggie
really-
file or binder and
Yeah.
make sure everything is correct. before you
right,
sign that.
because these are the disbursements of the money from the grant money, and, you know, there's $50,000 there, 750.
I was gonna say, I could come up with like 35,000 something,
Oh, no,
but I
there's a
couldn't come
lot
up with
more
the
than-
50,
yeah.
for 50,000, so.
It should all be in that file.
50.
And that's every filer, is it a binder or a folder?
Oh, it ought to be it ought to be in its own file.
Yeah, it
cabinet.
was years.
It's
Okay.
the whole thing between getting it cleaned up and everything with the grants and, there's a lot of documentation on that.
It
Okay,
does seem though, Brian, I agree with you, that it maybe even Diane McCarthy Clark would know. I mean, I don't know who was responsible
We
for the
were.
history. We were, even
Yeah,
though it was,
They really, their role was more
yeah, just,
administrative as far as signing, but I definitely
501c3.
reach out to them, but I know that was all handled through, I think that was that
It was
Ken
before-
Woodbury?
Were you here then?
Yeah, part
Okay,
of
that
it,
must have been your first year.
yeah. So it was, I think that was Ken Woodbury,
okay.
and I know we worked with all outside people as far as on all of that, so. But it should be all in there, it should be
okay, so
used,
I'll hunt down those, okay?
Yeah,
for sure, I
so,
would make sure.
so we're not gonna sign this, right?
No.
Okay,
No,
then,
that kind of,
Not yet,
I'd
not
like
until
to
this.
validate that
Yeah,
that's, everything is in
Okay.
the way it needs to be.
yeah.
okay, so very good. I'm gonna hand this to you next. This is the certified ratio study that the assessors, Hamlin Associates, has to have signed by the board. It's a certification that we're at a certain percentage of market value, is what that does.
What is the percentage?
I'm not sure, I believe, because this is the first year you're gonna be
Yeah.
reassessed. I believe we're 100%
Okay.
after this revaluation.
Okay.
But that has to be signed by the board, and that's all the supporting document he sent me, so. It comes to me and then I send it to him, and he sent back a chart at the back of the,
Yeah,
at
that's
the
what I
back
was
of the
looking at.
certification, so.
Should be representatives of sales. Do you have that in an email, Michelle?
I do, I can send it to you by
Yeah.
email, yep.
Like that? Yes, that's what I.
I'm curious, and I'll call him and ask him, but with this valuation, he should be able to tell us what 1 mil equals.
Yes.
It's gonna change your spiel.
It doesn't hurt any different, it just sounds better,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
No, 100%.
$2,000 is $2,000.
Yeah, right,
Correct.
exactly.
The bottom line at the end is gonna be the same, it's just this is going up, this is
Right.
down.
Yeah,
In Kingsbury, when we revalued last year, the values went up and our mill rate dropped too. So we were aiming for 5 and we ended up at 4.6.
Ah,
So
Kind of
it
yep.
shifts,
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
don't know until you actually run the
Yeah.
figures, what's gonna happen.
huh. Well, this is very.
but it could change your percentage with the county, the school.
Right,
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, that's, yeah.
because everything's based on value.
That's right.
Value.
Your school's gonna go up a lot.
I don't know.
County will go up a lot.
Yeah, water,
Because of it.
sewer and water.
Cause we're
Cause it's based off value.
Your hydrant rental will change.
Good news is bad news.
Yeah, everything is percentage based off revenue, or off from
Value.
total town assessment.
right. Wow.
It's interesting,
But it's
because
a rate, that's the problem.
the reason we did this was because on the receiving side, we were
We're-
getting a haircut.
Right,
But, you know, it could warrant an analysis, like maybe you were better off to take a haircut on the homestead. And you
No,
know,
'cause I think I'm still worried that if we hit 100, we're only hitting 100 for this year. I mean, you're.
oh, that we're gonna start sliding.
Yeah, I mean, this trend isn't going down.
probably not.
I mean, I've been still watching home sales and they're still, it's crazy.
Interest rate's the only thing that really kill it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the interest rates have slowed it down. And I think that's why you're seeing so few houses being listed right now, but the dollar value on most of them is still It's right up there.
That's very interesting. So is this something we need to sign?
Yes,
or
we do.
just- Oh, okay, all right.
You wanna
And
review
I
it?
will-
and
I
you
will
guys-
send
Do you
you-
wanna, do you guys wanna look at it at home first, or?
Okay,
I don't think
I
we
can
change
email it to you, I can email.
No,
it.
and I-
it's not gonna change,
it's
it's
not
not
gonna
gonna
change
change
anything.
anything. I mean, we're not
I
gonna
was just gonna,
adjust anything.
I was just call Josh and ask him that one question, just out of, for my own curiosity, but
All right, so we're gonna sign this,
I think we're as good as we're gonna get.
and you're gonna
Not
ask
change.
that question?
Nope.
What?
We're not
What?
gonna, you can't change
You
it.
can't change.
It's just
it.
finished product.
Right. Michelle, where do we sign? Right here?
It should be the second page of the assessment. Or certificate, sorry.
Right here, declaration under the penalties of perjury.
There you go.
Okay, it's all blank.
I know, that was weird.
Yeah, there's nothing checked.
This should be, didn't he go
No.
in further?
No, I didn't.
Let's see, because I was thinking that he had
I
sent me
don't like
back a
signing stuff where
completed
there's
one. Right here.
Blank check.
Yeah.
It is checked.
There's your completed form.
Oh, there you go.
I just kept them all together.
Okay. Okay, so now there's your number. 10 mil, total value homestead exemption, oh. And today is 4.
17th.
Yeah, it's the same deal. I mean, you don't have a choice. You're just gonna have to keep doing it. It's,
Well, and the
Matter
state
of
gives
that
us a
Good for his
window
business.
yeah.
of percentage before they start cutting stuff, so.
Okey-dokey.
So at our last meeting, we brought to you the situation with Kelly Doyle's property. Since then, we have contacted Hamlin's. Hamlin's did have an abatement that was issued in 2019. However, I could not find one of them that was signed by the board. Sam has a file, and she printed everything in that file that's a copy of what you have assigned. There was nothing for her in 2019. Which would mean that we would reimburse Kelly the $664.06 of the abatement. So, and I don't know.
Check issued either, correct? There was no check
No,
issued.
nope, there was no check
Oh,
issue.
that's,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's what
And
we
there's
really.
2 there, I'm not sure exactly why Hamlin sent the 2, but. And this, if you approve this tonight, this is not on the warrant, so I would just simply write it in on your warrant, if you want, or start the next warrant and have it next time, which would be May 3rd, I think, is your next meeting.
Oh, yeah, sure. That sounds good. This is signed. It's signed.
It sounds like Josh is,
It is what it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
he signed off on this. So, a motion to approve this abatement reimbursement.
Is-
Does that seem,
Yep, do you wanna read, it doesn't matter to you.
no,
okay.
it's for Kelly Doyle's, property in the amount that Michelle,
664.
Yep.
06. Second?
all in favor? Why do we need,
on
do
Joe.
you need
Oh.
both of them?
No.
or-
I think one goes back to him and then one
Oh,
stays with
okay.
us in the commitment book.
So do you just
itself.
wanna make a copy of the one we
I
signed?
got it. Yep.
I was gonna say, because we never signed two.
No.
Yeah, I've never
I
done that.
didn't really know why he sent me 2, but. Okay, so I have one more abatement before, I'll let Jeff go back to the cable in just a second, but while you're signing abatements, I'll keep going. We had a situation with Chelsea Hersey and Craig Burton. I got ready to do the 30-day notices for 2023 tax liens and realized that Chelsea had an unpaid balance. So I called her because I knew she had an escrow account, so I was kind of confused. Well, she came down, come to find out, Amber Cobb and Chelsea Hersey split a lot,
Yep.
but it didn't get split.
You know this.
I don't remember.
This is it's the lot that's right between the two. It's the old
Between the two of what?
properties. It's the old town, used to be a little rec thing there where the town sign is. Right?
Oh,
I'm
is
not
that?
sure where
Yep,
the lot is.
that's what
to
it
tell you
is.
the truth.
Oh,
So
oh,
this,
oh, oh,
long
oh.
story short, 2-3
Oh,
years
I
ago,
remember
state
that.
came to us,
Yeah.
wanted to know if we wanted to buy it. Well, we didn't really want the land. So the state in turn went back to both property owners, and that was the agreement with the state and them, town didn't have anything to do with it. They split the lot in half, half went to each, and the only thing is, the town held the rights to have our sign on the property. And we are forever, as long as we maintain it, if we stop maintaining it for 3 or 4 years, we lose the sign. But as long as we always keep that mode and have the sign there, it's always ours, but they own the lot. not us.
Okay, so I thought
That's
it was,
good for
I
you.
thought it was behind Chelsea, but maybe
Nope.
not. I'm not familiar.
You're right,
enough
that's
with the
exactly
roads.
what.
Yep,
But Chelsea was getting billed for the whole thing and didn't realize it. She thought it had become part of her house. So
Oh.
she has been paying taxes, including lien fees,
Oh, no.
that
Oh,
she
no.
should not have been paying.
Oh, no.
So Amber didn't get a bill, but Chelsea did, and so we
Yep.
owe Chelsea some money. And we need to, actually go back and bill Amber. So these are
Oh, man.
supplementals and abatements to straighten out the mess.
You can only go back 3 years, right?
Yeah.
is the
It's
property,
21,
wait a
22, and 23. Huh?
my only question is, did the state actually split the property? So it is deeded to both people?
There is a deed, yes.
To both?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanna make sure that they didn't deed it to one, who, if they didn't make this mistake and it really isn't our,
Problem,
This
because
is
it's,
Oh, I see
from
what you're
Hamlin's.
saying.
So it's minor dollars, but with Chelsea, she ended up paying probably $80 in fines for liens that she should have never even had a lien on. So we need to go back and fix that. So I'll figure out the added costs that she paid, she shouldn't have had to pay. Cause she did clear everything up when I called her.
wow.
But
So-
what about the other woman that, I mean, you can't go after her for not paying?
We're gonna bill her, we're gonna
You
bill
can
her.
bill her for that, but you can't give her for the extra.
Right.
You mean, cause she never got billed.
That's
Okay,
right.
all right.
So, no, she's just
Putting
gonna
my 2
do.
cents in, that's all.
Nope, that's fine, anytime ask questions. We would just go from now
Yeah,
and get and what she's gonna pay, I think, is like maybe $30 for 3 years, so.
Good for you, Dale, remembering that.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around this, as, I know this is right, and this is how, I'm just trying to how it's worded is the problem.
Well, and the last thing for me is that the state requires, the board to appoint ballot clerks on even numbered years, which is this year, by May 1st. So I have Cheryl Peters, Diana Bowling, and Kathy Willie, appointments for this coming year.
Okay. Do they have to,
That's
do
it for me.
they get sworn in?
They will come down, yep, once, I'll call them tomorrow and make up their oaths and have them come down and get sworn in.
I think every one of these ladies has done this before.
Forever.
They have,
Yeah.
yeah, but every
So-
even number year. we
I'd
have
make a
to-
motion that we appoint
Yeah.
the ladies that you have mentioned
Yeah.
as ballot clerks. Second,
Perfect.
all in
Thank you.
favor?
Second.
Yep. Yeah.
And I will try to remember to send you things prior to the meeting so that you can review them.
Yeah, especially the minutes.
Yeah, you might wanna give us a week on those.
Yeah, jeez.
We'll do that.
And speaking of the minutes, there's a number of PDFs that are, they're
Oh,
dead
man.
links on the webpage. So if you look at the meeting, the audio is there, but the PDF link is grayed out, it doesn't take you to anything.
Okay.
There's probably a half a dozen or more.
Okay. I will have her check into that.
And the other thing that I noticed there, well, I mean, I don't know whether, there are minutes that are inaccurate as far as who was there. It looked like Sam may have, and I don't know whether it was Sam or whoever was doing the minute, actually, I don't know. Anyway, used who was present and who was in the audience, just skipped over that part.
Okay,
I mean, I'd have to go back and, but what happened was, she was copying one from one meeting that I missed, and so subsequent meetings, because I've only missed one or two, I wasn't at any of those. It says that I wasn't there. It also says that the people in the audience, we know for a fact weren't there.
Right.
Skip up.
It's a different meeting.
Yeah.
The meeting is not
No,
lined
it
up with
doesn't
that.
line up with the attendance.
okay,
And so that she doesn't have to go, I can tell you the dates
okay.
but not right this minute. I'll call you up and give her the dates.
Okay.
That's what happens when you cut and paste.
Yeah.
Fidium fiber.
So, they had an appointment, they canceled it, and I haven't heard back from them.
Did they make the appointment with you?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Can you elaborate a little more?
I don't know anything other than he said he'd like to sit down with us and talk about fiber, and that was
Okay,
it.
well, I have an appointment for them. I'm scheduled for them to hook up service at my house,
What day?
in June. Yeah.
They give you a date?
Yeah.
Wow.
That means my road
It's
can't
a-
be far behind.
It's a substantial savings.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I know
This
that's,
is about what
Yeah.
projects they got going on.
Yeah, no, they're all part of what we're, I mean, right now, so, me, because I didn't know, and I've talked to other people, and they, same thought process, the company that's installing the fiber, everybody thought was the person you're gonna get your fiber through. Well, that's not necessarily true. That's how I found out about Fidium, and that's how I went online, and I'm all set, they're gonna hook me up.
Cause they got 2 or 3 different line crews pulling,
Sure.
yeah.
But it doesn't matter which crew's running the line, multiple or you're gonna be able to get on, so, it's kind of important, because I know a lot of people are signing up for things that you might wanna wait a little bit.
oh.
There's gonna be more
yeah.
options for people to think
Oh,
about.
I see what you're
You know what I mean?
You're-
It may not work for everybody, so you gotta decide what's best.
For many people, the performance is going to go up a lot, and the price is gonna go down a lot, which
Yes.
doesn't usually happen very often.
No,
But,
that's good news.
yep.
I like it.
Okay, we did the abatement supplements, correct? That was Amber and Chelsea. Actually, at this point, I would like to make a motion to go into executive session.
Second?
And my motion is under 1 MRSA 405A. A is for personnel. Let's make a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor? It's 4:48 and we're entering executive session. Okay, we're gonna come back into session. It's 5:10. We are gonna take an action. We're going to cease our search for a town manager, and Jeff will be the town. Oh, we're gonna wait, we got people coming in. We are, repeating myself, we're gonna take an action. We're going to stop with our search for a town manager, we'll pull our ad, and Jeff will be the town manager with the terms that we agreed to when he agreed to be interim. So really no change in his role, just his status. Second?
Yep. So that's.
Any further discussion? That's done. Thank you, Jeff.
Anything else?
Town manager's report.
Alright, I'll run this by you. The guy that does the ball field, said he had a lot of problems with garbage last year, trying to keep up with it, it was everywhere.
Nick.
Yeah, so what's your opinion on get a sign, carry in, carry out, and try that?
I would, my only thing that I would mention is I would reach out to Pirate Rec, because they do have a lot of people, so let them know what
'Cause
we're doing. And
knowing them, they'll bring their own barrels.
Correct.
But Nick, I talked to Nick about this. He said there's literally personal garbage bags.
Oh,
I mean, people are using this as a dumpster. It's
Well, what I'm
gross.
really worried about, what's gonna end up happening now,
Is they might just leave it on the ground, but
you're gonna see the porta potties full.
could happen.
Oh,
But I would support your signage.
yes, yeah.
I mean, one thing I've seen, some of these boat launches, is they just put a little tiny holes, but you know, someone's gonna break the cover off and, I think cash and carry.
Don't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't work.
Yeah.
But Dale's right, let Pirate Rec know why we're doing that, and then they'll, like I said, they'll probably bring their own barrels for that day.
Okay. Can somebody explain the marijuana ordinance?
We don't have them.
Yeah, we didn't pass recreational.
We do not have
We
them.
gotta have somebody inquiring about it,
About what?
setting up a recreational marijuana shop.
They're not allowed in Sangerville.
No,
And that actually was done by petition.
Yep.
it failed.
It failed.
It failed.
Yep.
I'll answer the gentleman's email.
Oh, yeah, well, I'll let you finish, but I do have a thing I wanted to.
Okay, let's talk about the air packs. Really quick. March 28th at 1 PM, I talked with Joshua Howard. And at that point in time, Joshua indicated our packs are up to date. We've done all our checks we need to do, and we've done all the flow. And there's no reason to replace those packs until we can no longer service them. And as long as they're serviceable, as long as we get parts, as long as we do our part, those packs are good to go. Mary Mayu, talked with her again, at 9:30 this morning. She called me on the packs. She is the head of, Department of Labor in Augusta. And again, she has said we are good to go with the packs that we have, as long as we do our flow and our monthly checks here and maintenance, as long as we have parts and they can run. We're good to go. There's hundreds of thousands, she said, of these 2.2 packs out there. So,
Wow.
Well, everybody's using forever, I mean, they're 25 years old.
it depends when the parts
Yeah.
run out, because 2.2s are all done at the end of the year. She also sent me a personal thing, saying the packs, as long as they pass flow, and we do our monthly service, we're good to go. So I have that in a text from her with her letterhead on it.
And the 5 that I picked up from the donation from Corinna, are they the same type?
They're 2.2s, but they're newer than the one I said I wouldn't wear, because they had that.
Oh, okay.
I don't like the idea of pulling that piece off, because in the heat of the moment, you get nervous, you run into the fire, trying to help somebody, you forget to pull your pass alarm off. All the other ones are all integrated, so the ones Alan gave us from Credit Fire, which we appreciate, are all integrated. Matt's got all the paperwork, and I think Mary said we're good to go. I'm waiting for that email, and I can give that to Matt.
So that certification or that they had when they were in Corinna, that was transferable to us?
I'm waiting for that.
Okay, that was just clarifying. that's
To make it
all.
official, I have it in my hand.
Yep, okay,
No,
good.
no,
But it was a valuable donation.
Absolutely, I mean,
Yeah.
another fire department trying to help this fire department.
That's great.
Sure.
Yep.
And then down the road, we can come up with a real good plan, if, possibly, and then replace them that way. One more thing under the manager's, report is FEMA. FEMA was here yesterday. One thing we did do is we didn't GPS the locations, we didn't take pictures, and we didn't measure the length of damages. All that stuff's an easy fix. I'm working with Scott. We'll get those numbers. I gotta have them by next Friday. Scott's got a tight schedule, I got a tight schedule, but we'll get those numbers. So under the FEMA pays 75% of the costs. And the state of Maine pays 15% of the cost. So when she comes back here next Friday, how do we get our 15%? I don't know, I didn't ask that question, I wasn't a numbers person at the time, weren't thinking. So I gotta ask that, and the town's responsible for 10%, so.
And that's road related only, right?
No, it's infrastructure and everything, so if
Right,
you're
but
bogged
like-
down and washed away.
Okay, but we do have the cemetery.
Did you,
Okay, so if we wanna add that on there,
We do.
That's huge.
we do.
Okay.
I mean, it's a
It
landslide.
wasn't in great shape, now it's in the worst shape it's ever been.
so
Now
that's
it's scary.
under my road commissioner thing,
Okay,
so.
yeah.
I mean, if that happened at this event, so if that's something that can be hit under that FEMA, I think that's, cause there again, I mean, to fix that, that's
Oh
gonna
my
have to
gosh.
be engineers or somebody. I
Right.
mean,
That's
Plus
under-
shoreline zoning.
Have you seen,
Isn't it?
you know what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was taking pictures of it. I watched that tree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like moves every day.
Yeah,
Did
yeah.
anybody get any pictures of this back?
Don't know.
No,
I might actually have pictures.
If we have a picture, that'd be great, especially if it has a time date on it.
I was taking pictures through the whole flood. I might
Oh.
just simply be, I might have pictures of it.
Okay,
I'll check that.
Good deal.
but FEMA, they'll be back here on the 26th at 2:30, if anybody wants to attend.
no. For me, I'm more concerned with that cemetery.
Same
than
here.
Any road or any other damage you gotta talk about.
Yeah.
You only got $18,000 claim.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah, that's,
Nothing compared to what this could have.
Not even gonna leave a mark.
No, she says it gets over $1 million, it's a lot more paperwork, a lot more in depth.
I wouldn't be surprised if.
But it's the threshold.
It's worth
It's the
that
threshold
paperwork.
time of getting it fixed.
Correct. No,
So you only got to the end of June or July to get everything fixed.
what?
Oh, we couldn't even get an
No
engineer
way.
now
No,
then.
so that's, I'll have to talk with them when they come back.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
'cause-
Yeah, because there are plenty of
I wonder-
projects that aren't getting, there was enough damage, so they're not gonna be done by the end of June,
All your stuff is done.
except for that.
Yeah,
separate.
that's,
That's correct. So,
But I mean, that would be like engineering and,
Oh, yeah, no, that's a multi-year project, I'm guessing,
so if you want
just to get the
to,
approvals.
you want to join me at 2:30 on the 26th? You talk with them?
text me, if you wanna remind me when it gets closer.
Sure. You want me to continue on?
yes?
Yes,
I'll be at the road commissioner now.
okay. New hat.
Okay, the Burrows Road and East Sangerville Road both had beaver problems. I had Scott go down and clean one of them out, which Lemuel cleaned the other one out on East Sangerville Road. We're gonna monitor those. We may have to get a trapper in, so that'll be a coordination between Scott and the trapper. I called a couple people, they're not doing it no more, so I got a number for a state trapper. I don't know what his cost is, so.
I had read somewhere where, in some instances, they were allowing them to be shot.
Yes, they changed the rule, you have to get all the warden service, and I think it's the landowner
I
themselves.
think you're right.
I don't believe, I'm not saying we can't with landowner cooperation, but I don't know if the town itself can.
You coordinate with the landowner, and you, obviously you need permission, but this was not allowable until recent, and it's become such a problem that they are allowing you to
Okay.
take it up a notch, so.
I can find out about that. So, I had Lance do that, so I gave him a full day. All the plastic around the town garage has been picked up and hauled to the dump. All that stuff all over the place is all gone, all those old broken plastic covers, those were all gone. All the plastic bags that are all through the town garage, those are gone, all the garbage is gone.
Well, they've been complaining about that for 5 years.
Forever.
So Scott hauled it all down. We called down and they said, yep, bring it down. So he took two loads down.
Great.
So it's
Thank
all
you.
picked up. Cemetery, this is where we're talking about the bank caving in, was got a little bit worse. It's all gravel, so all the trees are in the river now. Mr. Panziera came and saw me, said it slid a little bit more. It was his concern that somebody wanted me to put some markers up there, so somebody wouldn't drive over the edge.
Yeah,
Well, I went and
geez.
looked at it, I didn't like markers, so you can't drive that back row anymore. I had Scott grab 4 of the old cement blocks that were down there, the Haley blocks. We blocked both sides off, so you can't run around back
Oh,
anymore.
that's good. That's, I
Um,
mean, at
the
night,
other-
somebody drive right off the edge.
The other thing too, and we haven't done it, I don't think, for a couple of years, but what we were actually doing, in the past, what we were finding was the bigger trees, as they got bigger, they were the ones that was tipping and causing a lot of
Yeah.
that. So we did, a few years ago, we were having somebody go in there and they selectively cut some of those bigger trees out of the bank, so that way they would let the new growth and. Oh, no, they got in there.
Yeah,
Didn't
Yeah.
they top them so that
I,
so that,
I don't
or,
remember who did it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought, yeah.
so if we bring this up on the 26th, that'll require a site visit. They will come, they'll look at the site. I don't know where, at this point in time, we'd get any estimates. It's gonna be Army Corps. You're gonna talk to an engineering group. You're gonna have to talk to an engineering group on this one.
Yep, for
I
sure.
would honestly, my own, not knowing anything, but when you look at that bank and the relation to the river, the angle of the bank and where the cemetery starts, this could get really big,
Well, I asked Bob if he had to move anything, and he said, no, we're all good for a while.
depending on what they're gonna do to fix it. I mean, that's the problem. Cause I don't believe they're not just gonna go in there and look at that one spot, they're gonna see that whole
Start to
side.
finish.
Yeah, is this, I mean, they're gonna wanna fix it from the bridge down.
Yeah,
And I think that's where that's where it's gonna get scary.
yeah. So I'll find out something on that. That's all I have.
Huh.
Okay.
I just wonder, because Susan Collins had all those infrastructure bills and bridges and,
I think that's where the dam money came from, for Dover.
oh, there you go.
Well, I think that's where the source is, I don't know, they haven't implemented it.
So I wonder whether that we should reach out, I mean, obviously, time is getting short with all that congressional money, but I wonder whether we should reach out to Susan Collins' office and see if I mean, they're awarding, I don't know.
I don't think we could talk about assuming Paul is there, cause even the county, I mean, we could get support from more than one location on this one to help drive it to the top.
I don't know.
Selectmen's concerns. I have one I'll share. This is regarding the land on the Grange Road, the South Sangerville Grange. I spoke to the town's attorney, and I don't know if you've spoken to her yet, Jeff, but I sent her in your direction, but.
No, you gave me enough information, I figured you had it.
Okay. I gave a kind of the general overview of, the concerns that we were getting from the folks that were at that meeting. And then the town's, interest, in the sense of a financial interest. And she agreed that it wouldn't be the role, of the town to spend funds in a dispute between, abutters or people who are seeking access over this person's road. And she suggested that, if our interests were, a gravel pit or logging, wood lot, that we try to work out something with him in that regard. I had spoken to him previously, he'd already kind of floated that balloon that, when the town wants to get in there with a forester, or we could work something out.
He actually was here at a meeting and said that.
Yes, he did. I spoke to him again, because he'd heard our meetings, and so he reaches out to me when, he's gonna speak to his attorney will probably speak to our attorney, and my guess is, the hope is, there'll be some sort of, an agreement, I'm not sure the right way to phrase it, but essentially will codify Sangerville's interest with regard to logging, or however you might characterize it. And she thought that would be the proper solution. So that's gonna come about, but that's kind of the direction that it's headed, so.
Tom, he requested some information, and I told him I'd help him out. So anything I had, I know they already got all, most of this information anyway, I gave him a copy of the deed, copy of,
The road,
the roads, how they were all discontinued back then. I gave him everything we got without digging, I wouldn't even know where to start to dig.
It's all for you, so.
Right, so anytime they want that file, we print it all off for them, so.
Is he a resident? I don't know the guy.
Yeah, he was,
I don't
we
know.
looked it up.
We did
We
look
looked
it
it
up.
up.
No, I've seen him come here a couple of times, but I wasn't familiar with him.
So I don't mind helping him out, we gave him what we had, we don't have no legal, which we couldn't give anyway. But he's got everything we got that we got right now that we can share. So,
In a totally different subject, you and, Michelle and I had talked about petitions in general, and could a petitioner pull a petition, and MMA, I guess, said to you, they didn't think you could.
No.
And I had mentioned this to the attorney, and she kind of like, no, actually, I don't believe they can either, so she agreed. She said, the only scenario I could imagine would be if you had individual signers came in and wanted,
Remove.
request to remove their signature,
Oh, what?
and that got below the threshold, she
Oh.
said, then you might be able to make that
That
argument.
makes sense.
So I thought I'd share that with you just in.
Oh, that's
Nope, that would make
interesting.
sense.
Yep,
But
so.
boy, that would get very complicated,
It could.
people coming in and,
Well, people might learn some information and say, you
Right,
know what, I
yeah.
didn't know that, and I don't want my name on that, and so if you got below 80, or whatever the number you needed.
right.
Then she said you could possibly make the argument that it was justified to pull it. So anyway, it's just kind of inside baseball kind of thing. But-
Yeah, that's,
No, it's good to know though.
Yeah,
yeah.
any other concerns?
Kinda. So I brought it up over the last couple of years. I'm at it again this year already. It's really, I know Center Pond is, speaking to me personally, but also for a lot of people on the pond. I think there's been an issue over on your pond at least once over the last couple of years. And it's people not taking care of their docks. Ice is out, we've already got floating docks.
Whoa,
And I've been working with, or notifying the warden service. They're being, I mean, the guy's being super nice to me, he's trying. There really isn't anything out there for them to do anything about this.
So is there a statute?
Nope, he can't, at this point, he's still trying to grasp that, what he can or can't do. There's a, you know, at a certain point, he can stretch it to littering, or, you know, something that way. Obviously, right now, as far as on the pond, it's not as big a concern today as it will be in another 30 days, when everybody else starts putting all of their docks out and all of their boats in, and then you've got these floating docks that are just banging into things. So there's definitely a financial, when it gets to that end. So I don't know, I was gonna, and this just really, over the weekend, this has started up again. I'm gonna do a little research, I am like the most anti-ordinance person there is, I hate rules. But I'm really wondering what's out there, what have other towns done, when it comes to this?
What about, what if the residents collected this debris, it could bring it to a location where the town could then treat it like what it is, it's garbage. We hire a contractor, they pick it up, it goes to a landfill.
Well, and that's the other side of this, we've already done this once, a couple years ago. There was a loose dock, in theory, and that got drug over to the public boat landing, and the town they ended up with a cost, and they removed it, and they had to pay to take care of it.
I mean, if somebody dumped a refrigerator on the side of the road, is that the landowner's responsibility, or would the town say, I mean, if it's not
If you knew
blocking
whose
right
refrigerator
away?
was,
What's that?
if you knew who the you know what I mean? This is
Well,
a
no,
little
but I'm
different.
saying, if somebody just did like there's
No,
three
we pick it
mattresses on the side of 23, well,
pick it
23 isn't our road.
No, we'd pick it up.
we pick it up.
You think we would?
No, I know I mean, we've done it before, we picked up tires or refrigerators.
Okay,
There was a stove, I think, in East Sangerville a year or two ago, we picked up.
yes,
You
yep.
know, so I mean, yes, we would, so, but again, it's, I don't know, I never really thought about this before, but,
Do you know
It's
whose
gonna-
dock it is?
oh yeah,
So wouldn't it be the
Oh, it's just
land
one dock?
it's right at the moment, it's the same dock for the last 3 years.
that gets loose or never
Yep.
gets pulled in the fall?
They pull it up close to shore, and then high water hits it, and it's sent it out again this year. It sat in the cove down past me by Steve and Teresa, it was right off their lawn for, Jesus, 6 months.
So they gather it up in the spring?
No, what ended
They
up
don't-
happening that time was, they didn't gather it, they never went and got it. Steve and Teresa, cause they got tired of looking at it on their lawn, so they drug it over and put it to the dock. The people saw them, bring it over, drug it over for them, pushed it right into their dock. And it was about an hour and a half or 2 hours later, there it goes. It's coming back across the pond again. And it ended up down at, Mike and Debbie Gould's. It ended up in their cove. And then we had the worst part at that time, it was high water, and it pushed it up into their cattails. So poor Mike and Debbie, you couldn't get to it with a boat, they literally went in with a canoe and paddled that thing out of there. And me and Danny went and got it with my pontoon boat and drug it across the pond, and I tied it to the town dock. And then it's ended up back at the landowners again, and,
This one dock?
yep. Many people have hooked onto this thing, it's a recurring thing, I mean,
Is it wooden?
yeah, it's wooden, it's got the black floats under it.
Sounds like kindling to me.
I think tannerite would be really nice. So.
All right,
But nobody wants the debris in the pond, that's the.
Right,
Right,
right.
You know,
no,
I mean,
I-
it sounds good to do it, but none of us want that, so that's why it's. But it really, that's what it's gonna be, either we gotta figure out a way, if there's no recourse for this, then, I mean, the towns are gonna get stuck taking care of these things, that's all.
For several years, there was a ice house that somebody didn't pull out, sunk into the water and was
See, that's
half
different.
submerged.
That is illegal, and
You
a
get
warden
fined for
can find that.
Yeah, oh, okay.
yeah,
They
daily, I
know where it
believe.
goes.
Oh.
That's
Yeah.
bad, that's why you do see, a lot of times you see those burned, cause
Oh,
nobody wants to
okay.
get fined.
I see,
But
okay.
docks, I guess, it's a no, there's nothing on them for them, do whatever you
Huh.
want.
And it's of no value, you couldn't claim it as your own. You
Well,
don't-
that's, I don't know, I mean,
Hey, I haven't seen that happen in our
yeah,
pond,
you
but
know, there was one a while ago.
there was?
Yeah, I knew some people that were, I think it was a neighborly thing and they were.
Oh.
But I mean, right now, the warden service, the guy's really nice, I texted him again this weekend because it's over at another camp, sent him the pictures. He's trying, it's not that he's not, it's just, it's very hard on their end as well, so.
Gotta get the owners involved.
Yeah.
But then there's nothing to say that it's their dock. So, I mean, if you floated it over and said, here's your dock back, there's nothing on that other than people seeing it to prove it's theirs.
So they don't claim it as theirs.
They do when it's returned, but they
Oh my
don't,
gosh.
you know what I mean?
What a
There's no,
ridiculous-
if there's no fine and there's no mechanism,
Ay, ay,
and you, with modern society, the way certain people are, there's no initiative for them to go get it and take care of it and do what they're supposed to be responsible. So,
You need a fine attached to it.
exactly, you need something, or you just need to be able to get it out of there, one or the other. So,
Well, anybody with a tractor could pull that out.
if the boat landing road weren't soft right now, it could be a conversation.
Yep.
So once it dries up.
It's close.
Yes.
I would say by this time next week. Okay, Jody, anybody, anything else?
I don't think so.
We've got a lot of work to do between, in fact, now I'm gonna ask you, I know you've told us this, how many days do you need to print? In advance notice to get the town report printed? First, we gotta build it, but I'm working backwards.
3 weeks. It's from the time they get the information and get it set up to print, back to us, is just about 3 weeks.
Is there any other printing options other than that, Michelle? I didn't know if you've ever used anybody in the past.
I have. Kingsbury, in fact, just did theirs and it took us a week.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh,
I
And they
think
had to
that's the
print it
direction
twice,
we,
so-
yeah,
I like your second one.
yeah.
but you need a finished product.
I do.
Yeah.
So that brings us to our schedule.
So I don't know if we have the board's letter. Do we have the board's letter yet?
Yeah.
We're working on it,
Okay.
that can be had.
So that and warrant, and I think we're ready to roll.
Yeah, and we've got,
A
there's some
couple of
tweaking we
articles
wanna
that
do to
we-
some of those articles,
Right.
but that could be done in an afternoon.
Right, yeah.
So
But
we
do
need a
we-
meeting for that.
Right, but do we wanna look at a date? Or,
Well, first of all,
We need a commitment for us to get this done so we can get printed and then we know.
are we sticking with the weekend for the town meeting? Cause then it's the 27th or the 4th. And the 27th is now pretty much out of reach.
yeah.
Well, if we can go with a date for 1 week to print a vote. We're leaving that out of it.
That's.
No,
Yeah,
it's
still out of it, sorry.
out of reach. No, the 4th is the earliest you're gonna do it on a Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, I know all of us don't care about Saturday, but a lot of people do.
27th, 28th,
No good?
I'm emptying out all the storage units.
Yeah, but I don't think we can't get there anyway, Jeff. I don't think it's an option.
No, 27th is out.
Yeah. I think we're good.
What happens to me, oh, okay, no, we're good.
We're
Because
going
I-
up to the school in Guilford, well, if we're gonna do it there, yeah.
No, we can do it here.
Grace Bible.
Grace
Do it at
Bible.
the-
Just, we gotta let them know.
Yep.
And the problem there is I don't think you can have enough chairs. Last time we robbed every room.
We need to ask, cause I see what there should be,
More chairs?
Yes.
Okay,
And if we need, there's a supply of chairs here in the fire department.
Yeah,
Okay.
there you go. That's true, I mean.
And if we need more, we can rent them.
okay.
and I know, you know, you can rent folding chairs, so.
Yeah,
But I mean,
from
there should
Pecos.
there should be 60, 70 chairs here somewhere, cause we've had meetings in this building before.
Okay. I'll have to
So,
check on that.
are we gonna commit to the 4th?
Yes.
Does that work? So that backs us up, that, so you have, this printing takes a week, right?
Yeah, so she needs a finished product by Friday on the 26th. Which means next week, we have to put this thing all together by Thursday.
You have to post your warrant by the 26th.
Okay, there you see, it all works right
Yeah.
backwards.
So the warrant has to be posted.
So, and the town report has to be ready for the public on May 1st.
Okay.
Okay, warrant posted on the 26th. What, the report has to be ready for the public?
Yep, has to be in our hands and out to the public on May 1st, if we're gonna hit the 4th.
So you're talking about the 4th? I can't do the 4th.
You can't do the 4th? There's no 4th. It's a weekend.
Yeah, so I
okay,
will
wait.
Alright, so what do you
contact,
wanna do next week? That's really what we need.
Well, no, actually, I think we need to do something this week.
Okay.
We got tomorrow, we got Friday, we got Saturday. We've got a letter that we want to have go out, and we're gonna review that tonight. And if there's any tweaks to this letter, this is gonna be a bulk mailing. How quickly can a letter go out of your office? If we give a I'm talking the whole zip code.
the whole zip code, we could probably do it, because we have a folding machine. I have envelopes. that are-
No, what about folding it and stamp and just taping it?
I thought the permit went on the back, and everybody in the zip code
Yeah, we
gets
don't
it.
need envelopes,
Okay.
right? I mean.
I'm,
it just-
I'm asking,
Oh,
not
yeah.
telling. That's,
Okay.
I believe that's the way we did the last one.
We've always stuffed, whatever you have given us, we've stuffed in your envelope.
The one that,
The historical.
that's what it was,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
from them.
Yeah,
yes.
here, I have
Oh,
it.
she's got it, look at her.
Okay.
Always has the document.
Wait a minute, here it is. Hang on, now I'm gonna be.
I think I have it too, Jody, so.
Well, it's one of those ones that it's so,
It
you'd love
lives
to pull it
in
out.
infamy,
It does.
The meeting for 10 minutes.
yeah.
I didn't say
What are you
anything.
doing now? Hang on.
This
I
is
gotta-
it.
Okay.
You can see what they did on this. And that just got folded in half and ends up in everybody's mailbox.
That is pre,
Oh, but not what he's got stapled to it.
No, that's
No,
not the
no.
staple
Yeah.
part.
but
Yeah, that's it, right there.
like this.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So if we do that, it's gonna be hand folding, because the folder only does the
Three
three
fold.
fold. So day and
And
a half.
Okay, I might be able to get some help for,
Okay.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
3 folds isn't gonna, if
Why
you're gonna
can't
stick it,
you-
hold it together.
Flip that for a second.
Yep, three fold.
I
You
mean,
could do the same thing, you could do that 3-fold, but
You
it's
could.
still only printed on one side and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not gonna have anything on the back.
The label and stuff on the three fold for that. You know what I mean?
do you do a label or would you print the envelopes? How would you
I print
do-
labels, so
Oh,
I
And
have,
so you stick labels?
I have envelopes that have windows,
Oh,
all pre-stamped, ready to go. And then I have plain envelopes that are stamped, that you put a label on.
but if you use this method, you don't have to tape any labels and you don't have to stuff any envelopes. That's a lot of steps that you're
Right,
removing.
but I'm not sure, how do they do the pre-postage?
that, we
You'd have to
maybe
ask the
go,
post
go
office.
to the
Yeah,
post
just take a
office.
picture of this and you can have it.
No, oh,
What?
you need to keep it.
Yeah, okay, would you take a picture of it? Just take a picture of that and ask it. You're right, because then I'm gonna want it.
Exactly, you will regret the rue the day, not roost the day, rue the day.
But if we can get it down to if you can get rid of those steps, I'm hoping we
One
can get
fold
one
and
out
a
in
piece of scotch
24
tape,
hours.
no labels,
Right,
no
and
nothing.
you don't have,
We can do it in a day.
you don't have to put any addresses on it,
No.
because it's
No.
local postal customer.
It's everybody
period.
in the
Correct.
zip code.
Yeah,
Right.
so I don't know whether, did that get generated from the post office?
No, I think they printed the permit number when they did their job, you know, when they made their documents. She's even got the picture on the back.
Right,
So,
Oh, yeah.
so yeah, that's her document,
so what I
but
can
it
do
meant
is,
postal code.
Right.
and then they taped it.
Yeah, yeah.
It never left the Sangerville, it never left the post office, so it's all internally done.
Right, so what I'll do is I'll ask Deb tomorrow. I'll
Yeah,
take that
there you
picture
go.
and go
Yep.
ask Deb.
Yep,
But we can do it in a day.
okay, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, no, we could pull it off in a day.
And so we've got a 99% done product.
Okay.
And, we'll deliver it, Jody will
Yeah,
mail
I'll
it to
wait.
you tomorrow morning in an email,
Okay.
and then you'll be good to go with it,
Okay.
okay? And we'll
I'll check with
just
Deb
keep
and
us
see how
posted
it
so we'll know, because there
Okay.
may be a follow-up, we may have another one,
Right.
early next week,
And
so.
is color a problem?
Nope.
So, okay, no, I just wanted to make sure that.
Yep, no, it'd be be
red.
nice to have that,
Oh,
so.
yeah, it's nice to break it up.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
something
Okay.
pop off. Bold's not always the way to go.
No, yeah,
Colors definitely.
yeah.
So,
Well,
back
but
to
I
this
didn't-
calendar. Do we wanna meet this week, tomorrow, or Friday, to work on the warrant?
Yes.
I think so.
I'm not arguing.
Okay, so you wanna meet tomorrow?
Yes.
What time?
Actually, Friday's better for me, but I can make it work.
I would
I can't do tomorrow. I got,
Friday.
I gotta go to the side, I got problems with the side.
I don't wanna do both, I just feel like that's, but
Yeah.
Would
Do we
Friday
need
work
Jeff?
for you?
Yeah,
Do we need Jeff?
I don't think so. I think we kinda need Michelle more than Jeff.
We need you in
Sorry.
general, but you know what I'm
Friday
saying?
works for you, Friday works for him, he doesn't have to be there, but if he was gonna be there, he is the town manager, we
Sure.
are sending the letter, even though it's our letter, I really think he's.
Well, this
We're
was
talking
gonna,
about the warrants.
this
the
is more
articles.
about working on the
Oh,
articles.
On the articles.
And this is where like I said, I think Michelle's
Yeah,
gonna be
Michelle.
more,
Alright, yeah, it's up to him.
but Sam's not gonna have any coverage. I would meet early, and this isn't a select board meeting.
Right,
In the
this
sense
is-
that
It's a workshop.
It's a workshop.
it's a workshop.
Right,
It might require
notice,
some motions.
oh.
You ain't gonna require a motion until you're all done. If you think.
That's
you're gonna
true,
get through it-
we can get the thing in shape, and then we can have a meeting on Monday and approve all those things. I like that, okay. So it's a workshop,
Okay.
okay?
Do you need to have that posted? You don't need that posted for.
It should be, it should be.
Okay.
Everybody should know that we're, I mean,
And
it's,
that's gonna be Friday?
yep. So you can post,
What time?
guys can correct me, I'm thinking, you can post the town meeting date, 1 o'clock on the 4th.
Okay.
Okay, we've agreed to that.
Yep,
We've got a workshop on Friday, the 19th.
At what time?
I'll do it as early as you guys wanna do it.
I'm good, whenever it works for you guys, cause everybody else works.
2?
It's on to you, buddy.
2?
Okay, 2 o'clock,
2?
yep.
And do you need me there?
If you
Yes.
can be,
I
but
can-
yes,
yep, I can
and,
be
and,
there.
and you could come and go. I mean, maybe we just call you if we need you, but it's up to you, but yes,
Okay.
okay?
Where are we gonna meet?
Here.
You going here? Could we have a small table in the corner of the town office? I mean, or do you
Cause
wanna
we
do it here?
can quietly.
you get a table over there.
Yeah, it's just we're gonna get interrupted, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, I'd do it at your office.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't wanna do it in my office.
Okay.
Wait, so 2, okay, we're
Two,
talking
right here.
Friday, 2
Yep.
PM.
Yeah,
Yep.
let's do it here.
And,
Okay,
and
so-
warrant is the topic.
Warrant.
If we are going to, let me check with the new company to be able to set up the printing of the town report. Where it's a new setup, let's check and make sure they can do it at the same time. I mean, it's the same company that Kingsbury uses every year.
Sure,
Let's make sure that the time frame is gonna work for a new town report to go in.
and if the answer is no, that could push us out a week on the meeting, but it really doesn't change these steps.
But also make
Right,
sure
it would
they
just-
understand that, we're very easy to work with. So if we need to modify the setup to make it simpler and cleaner and easier so they can get this done, I think we would be open to that.
Okay.
Because-
So let me call them, make sure that the timeframes are gonna work.
Sure.
And then
Yeah,
I will
sure.
email you, all of you tomorrow.
Okay.
I mean, worst case, thumb drive, go to Staples, watch them all print.
Absolutely, I don't care if it's just stapled in the corner. I
No, I
mean,
mean, they actually will do work. It's right
Yeah.
there.
yeah,
With
okay,
a hardcover. I mean, it's a pain in the butt to do it that way, but I mean, it is.
yeah, if I gotta.
But I
run-
think we could, that's why I was trying to say, as a setup, and we can make this simple, so it should work for them.
How many,
I mean, it's pretty simple the way we've got it set up now,
Okay.
so
do you know how many copies we had last year?
I don't.
No, okay.
I have no
Our
idea.
vendor will be able to tell you, but
I was thinking like 150.
he's out of this, yeah.
And I think we cut it back to get to there, but.
We did cut it back, but I don't remember what it was. I do remember that.
Okay, so we're gonna try to plow through the
That one.
warrant on the 19th. We've got a lot of decisions, we got letters, we got inclusion decisions to make, so.
What are you gonna do? You wanna do an actual meeting Monday, Wednesday? Monday or
I
Wednesday?
think we'll just, yeah, after on the 19th, when we're done on the 19th, we'll determine,
Okay.
okay? Because we may decide we need an additional workshop,
Good.
okay?
It's
All right.
Passover on the 23rd.
Anything else with regard to the calendar? All right, do you guys wanna dive into this document? This
Sure.
mailing?
Sure.
Did you get one?
All right.
Okay.
Do we want to, do we need Michelle and?
No, we really don't.
If you guys
so-
wanna leave, I mean, we could end the meeting and then.
Yeah, we could just,
We're just,
noodle
we're
this.
working on a letter.
yeah.
That's you guys' call.
And you're gonna get,
You're gonna get-
we're gonna send you the end result tomorrow morning,
Okay,
okay?
so I'm good, whatever you need me to do.
Okay.
I
This-
think we're good, because I've got my computer, but the only thing is I don't have my mouse and I do not know how to use it.
All right,
Oh, man. I don't. No.
motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's
I don't know.
5:50, we are adjourned.
Got 'em in your email.